So you want all of this, and yes, that is possible when you become an entrepreneur. But you have to understand, this is what I told her. You have to understand that when you start your own business, you're not only a baker, right? The way she was thinking was that, oh, I just want to be a baker and I want to start a business. So that is not possible. Because when you start a business, you need to take on a new role, which is the entrepreneur. So now you have the baker and you have the entrepreneur, right? So you have now two identity that needs to work together. So this entrepreneur is the one that will be responsible to think about the future, the business. How can the business become better? How can this business serve the clients better? How can I introduce new bread so that my clients will love me more? So this part is the job of the entrepreneur, while you have that part of being a baker. And so when I started to explain this to her, then she started to think. Then she had an aha moment. She, now I know. Now I know. She hasn't been thinking like that. She was just thinking of like, like normal job, normal employee. So that is not possible anymore. So when you are entrepreneur, you have to have a different identity added into that passion that you have. So that is the another thing, that the common mistake with people is that they think they still need to do the same thing that they need to do. So that's why when people say, find your passion and make it into a business, that's only one part of the equation. The other part is you need to really understand and learn about entrepreneurship as well. Yeah, having that entrepreneurial mindset. Good. Thank you for that question. That was a long one. I was very passionate about answering that question. Should I consider the risk before starting a business? And my answer to that is yes, of course. But this, it's a very interesting question, because to me, right, risk is everywhere, right? So there's this funny video that I saw, is that this guy was saying that even life, your life is at risk because you won't come out alive. And so everything has risk, and so even business. But the interesting thing about risk is that it's actually not fixed. So risk is very relative. The more, so let's say, for example, if there was two people, so one is me, and then one is someone who is, let's say, a newly graduate of let's say engineering, because I used to be an engineering student. So engineering graduate, right? Let's say you ask this two persons, so me and then this engineering graduate, to start a new business, and to start the same business, exactly the same business, like let's say maybe a spa. So both of us will start a spa. So who do you think will have a higher risk? Who do you think will have a higher risk? So me or the new engineering graduate, right? So think about that for a bit. So most likely your answer will be the engineering graduate, right? So he has a higher risk because I have more experience when it comes to business. And so that is kind of like a bit understanding how risk is actually changing in terms of your experience, your knowledge, your skills, what is the environment that you're going to be playing on. So a lot of factors comes into play when you talk about risk. And so if you are someone new and you haven't even started a business yet, and you are thinking of starting a business, and you're thinking, okay, there's a lot of risk in starting a business. Yes, there's a lot of risk starting a business, but you can lower the risk by one, learning as much as you can when it comes to that business, being really prepared, not up to perfection, right? Like just enough, just enough. Then two, looking for masters or mentors. This is something that I learned from Money New as well, which is one of the biggest things as well. And in fact, now even with all the years that I have, now I have about 14 years experience in business. I still look for masters. I still look for mentors that I can help me. So having mentors or even a coach is definitely going to help to reduce the risk. And then, of course, looking for other partners, the right partners, just like what we talked about earlier, then it also reduces the risk. So there's a lot of things that you can do in order to reduce the risk, but it will never be like zero, never be gone. So I hope I answered that question. Can you share why we should go to Money in You? And Money in You is okay. So there's only, I would say, four life-changing programs I can recommend, and one of them is Money in You. And one Money in You is the first, my very first transformational program. So Money in You is a personal development program, a business program, a money program, but ultimately for me, it's a transformational program. It's a program that has changed my life, the trajectory of the direction of my life, and it will never go back to the same. And that's basically transformation, right? So transformation is when your life totally changed, and that's Money in You. And it's my first one. That's why it's also the most significant one for me. And I know from people, from my friends in Money in You and people who have attended Money in You as well, that each and every one of us kind of like had a very, how to say, different transformation. So I can only speak about my own experience in Money in You. So to me, I went into Money in You coming out from a failed business, and I was, restarting my life, and I was like, paying off debts. I had a lot of anger issue. I was depressed. I told you I wanted to, like, I was at that point of suicide, right? And Money in You came at a point where all of that was happening inside me, but a lot of it was the money conversations, because I failed in business and I was in huge debt that I was paying off, that caused a lot of problems even in my other areas of life, so in my relationships, etc. But the root cause of it was money. And so in Money in You, I got the concept of abundance, and it's like opening up my head into this new reality, that there's so much out there. There's so much possibility, so much opportunity, so much wealth, so much knowledge, so much experience, things to experience. And that kind of abundance was like mind blowing to me. And for someone who wants to stop living, seeing all of that is like, I felt like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss out on a lot of these things if I like stop living right now. And it totally kind of like changed my mind, and it made me really live my life. And I spoke about the one of my key learning is that to design my life, right? So most people spend their lives earning a living rather than creating or designing their lives. And so then from there, when I changed the trajectory or the direction of my life, then I started creating my life, designing my life, living my life the way I want it. And that's totally a huge shift. And that's only kind of like one, right? So I still learn a lot from Money in You, but that's kind of like one of the biggest things for me, where I will always be forever thankful and grateful for that program. So with that, right, with that if you have something, even one thing that you want to change in your life, then definitely Money and You is a program that can create that transformation. So, so definitely, I highly recommend, if you are considering attending Money and You, go for it. Attend it. It's a totally worth it investment. So for yourself, right? So Tuyet, thank you for asking that question.
Oh, hey there. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell button so you get updated of the new videos. See you in the next one.